This podcast is sponsored by Happy Warrior Kava. Be a happy warrior. Drink, relax, and enjoy the strong and smooth taste of the best-selling kava in the islands. Happy Warrior Kava.
And welcome into the HNN Digital Center for a special Super Bowl edition of HNN Overtime, the Hawaii News Now Sports Podcast. I am Kyle Chinen, joined as always by Cienna Pilotin, Davis Pitner, and we have a very special guest for this special Super Bowl edition of the show, Drew Davis.
What's going on? It's been a little while.
It has been.
Yes.
Everyone, we took a little bit of a break, but of course we have to be back for the Super Bowl.
Biggest game of the year.
It is the biggest game of the year, and once again, the Chiefs are back in it. This
Yep.
matchup seems a little familiar.
Yep. I mean, we already had the graphics done.
And we was ready, yeah.
Like, it was ready.
I did zero work for these
No.
graphics. Pretty easy to pull them back up again.
I mean, yeah. But also, shout out to Davis.
Yes.
If you're watching on YouTube, that intro, the special intro, was sick, and Davis is 100%
Yes.
responsible for that.
Thank you, Davis.
Yeah,
But-
it's always fun.
Yeah, we have a super jam-packed show, a lot to talk about. We have Drew to help us out with that as well. The thing is, though, at least for the 3 out of the 4 of us, none of our teams are really in this game, so there's not a lot of stock in this game, but we do have our resident Kansas City Chiefs fan in the
Yes.
house.
Yes. You know, I'm just trying to soak up the wins that I get before it's over. I know a lot of people are tired of seeing the Chiefs. And like, I get it. I totally understand. Like, this is all how we felt during the Patriots era. So, as happy as I am, I get it. I want to get the three-peat, and then I'll just kind of go away for a little bit.
Fade into the sunset.
Yeah.
Get into it.
Just, give other people a chance. But I want to get this third first.
I mean, I'm very much, like, not one of those haters. I really appreciate when things like this, when they're on the cusp of, like, a third straight that's never happened before. I'm, like, as just a pure football guy, like, that's super cool to me. So I have temporarily pledged my allegiance to the kingdom for this Sunday.
Whoa, wait, really?
Yeah,
Ew.
I have. I mean, no offense to all my other Seahawks fans here, but Seattle's not making the Super Bowl anytime soon. We had
True.
our run back in the day. You know, we had Russ cooking, but he's also currently cooking like stovetop ramen now. So it's like, what our days
Sierra's
are done.
cooking
Yeah,
at this
Sierra's
point.
cooking. Yeah, she is the breadwinner, and he is the just get to
Stay-at-home dad.
yeah, literally. But Drew, you have a rival in this game.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was saying earlier this week that I feel like I have nobody to root for in this game because being a Cowboys fan and obviously the Eagles, I hate the Eagles. But also, unlike you, Kyle, I feel like I don't want the Chiefs to get the three-peat.
I get it.
I fall into that camp where I don't want it to happen because like it'll be so long before another team is able to like take them down. And even if they get the three-peat and they'll have an opportunity next year to do a four-peat and it like do the opposite of the four falls of Buffalo,
Yeah.
4 wins for the Chiefs. I don't want to see that happen. Like I respect the team and I respect their players, but I really, really don't want to see it happen. They're the bad guys right now for me.
I get it.
Yeah.
I am in the
Choose wisely.
same boat as Drew. I'm a Rams fan. Obviously, that didn't work out. But I am supporting the Eagles in this. I'm mainly supporting it for Saquon Barkley. I had him on my fantasy team this year, and he absolutely killed it for me. What a dominating season for Saquon. I mean, the numbers he was putting up were pretty unrealistic 2,005 yards, 13 touchdowns.
It's great.
I mean, yeah, he's unreal.
He was unreal. And
What did you end up ranking in your fantasy league?
Oh.
Because I know you guys are in the HNN.
yeah, that was a sore subject. Our last episode, we all discussed the rankings. And I, in fact, got third place. I was
Okay.
first the entire season.
Yeah.
And Saquon decided to take a little bit of a break for 2 of the playoff games. And it was close the first one, and then I lost. So, you know,
hard
it was hard. It
It's
was hard. Yeah,
It's
it was hard.
Especially at the end of the season.
Yeah.
I saw like a stat that people that had Saquon were like in the playoffs. Like I don't know what the exact number, but it was like 60 or 70%.
Oh, it was
of
a
the
high
time.
percentage.
Yeah.
yeah.
In my league, my best friend, my roommate in college, he got Saquon, and he was like dead last. I was like, I don't know how
No
you could
way.
be that bad
That's
at fantasy
crazy.
football
That's
and have
crazy.
Saquon on your team. It was,
I mean, who else was on his team? It must have been like
Yeah,
Jameis
literally.
Winston type.
He-
people.
Right.
No
he picked-
offense.
it was his first year playing fantasy, and
Oh.
he got
Yeah.
Saquon.
We all been there.
He got Saquon, and then like his second pick was like C.J. Stroud, and I was
Oh.
like, no, come on.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, how
probably
did
why.
you do in your other league?
I ended up third in my.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I was
It's a Davis thing.
I think I was third to last
Oh.
in the workroom league.
I think the H&N one, it was like me, you, Steve, and
Yeah.
Kyle Carlson at like the bottom.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
It was
that
rough.
was yeah.
That's great.
Well, I mean, I have no one else to blame but myself for forgetting to set my lineup every week. Halfway through the
probably do
year,
it.
half my lineup was injured and on
Yeah.
IR. So
Kyle was that guy.
I am that guy. I apologize to my league mates. I still pay the fees. It's all good. I waste my own money and just to be a part of it. But Davis again, our master stats guy, put together a list of some of the things. So if we want to play some of the B-roll
Kyle.
we have, taking a look at the AFC champion Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. He has over 3,000 yards, almost 4,000, with 26 TDs and 11 interceptions. Meanwhile, his guy, Travis Kelce, 97 receptions, 823 yards, 3 TDs. Xavier Worthy, this regular season, 59 receptions at wide receiver, 638 yards, 6 TDs. And Kareem Hunt, he was a late addition, right?
Mhm.
About was it halfway through or a little
I
bit
believe
before?
so, yeah.
Yeah,
It was when like Rashi
Yeah,
went down, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. 200 carries, 728 yards, and 7 TDs since returning to the Chiefs. So he's been on fire. What else you got, Davis?
Yeah, I mean, overall, just
Just this is
see, we'll tell you.
Yeah.
Probably say a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
dynamic team. Looking
Yeah.
at all the numbers, it's obvious that Patrick Mahomes is the star as always. I mean, you have threats with Kelce and Worthy that have been doing great all season, and the Eagles clearly that defense has to step up and make it hard for Patrick to throw the ball.
Yeah.
For
I
sure.
mean, if you look at our roster versus the Eagles roster, it's just crazy because I think the Eagles are so much better. Like, in every position, I think they're better, besides quarterback and probably head coach. Sorry, Nick. But,
I mean,
yeah. But yet, like, I don't, when you have Mahomes, it's just like, crazy. Like, you can't even compete. One of the guys that's not on the list that you mentioned that I hope to win a Super Bowl for, as if I'm going out there to win it, but as a Chiefs fan, DeAndre Hopkins, I want that man to get a ring so badly. Not just with just with any team. I think after just hearing his story, and he's been in the league for so long and hasn't found this level of success, yet he's so talented, I would love to bring him a ring. So, we'll see.
I mean, yeah, what a great story. I mean, he was kind of like, he was that guy in Houston for a long time, and then he bounced around.
Arizona.
But it's cool to see that he has found a home in Kansas City, and
it's probably a 1-year thing.
Yeah.
Like, it won't be forever, but if he can just get that ring, that would be great.
that would be awesome. And like, yeah, I think there were a couple of those talking head shows that on Sports Center and all that. A lot of people are going to be focusing on Xavier Worthy, on Kareem Hunt, on all these other offensive weapons, Travis, for one, but they're all saying like DeAndre Hopkins, they're going to leave him out on an island, and he's still got that juice to him. So
Yeah.
it's like, he might have a big game.
Yeah, and that's what I love about him is he knew his role coming into the team was not to be wide receiver 1. Like, he's just here every now and then to catch 8 yards, and then every now he'll get open. But he's not in on every play. Like, he's probably in on 25% of the plays. It's a lot of Hollywood Brown, and even Juju gets more playing time. But the fact that he came to this team and was like, I'll do any role you want me to do, and, like, I won't be a diva and complain about getting the ball more and, you know, throwing a fit. I'm just like, okay, like, we got to run with this guy. But he's at that level of, like, he's been in the league for so long.
That's that savvy vet mentality. It's super cool to see. Davis,
what?
You want to? Do we want to talk about the
Eagles?
We
can keep going.
There
is actually one other person that the Eagles do have.
I saw you
that,
getting this ready.
So we got one other person. Obviously, she's also part of this team. Is she the good luck that the Chiefs have been having all these years?
Super Bowls without her, so
that is true.
It's
you guys
true.
remember when, like, a year ago, this was like the most talked about story, and it is still the thing that everybody is talking about.
They have cameras set up on her. The Chiefs Stadium, they have that one cam set up on that same suite. You see Mama Kelsey, see Tay right next to her. So
she always brings in, like, random people. I'm not random, like, they're her friends, but, like, Blake Lively, controversial. Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
I saw that.
Caitlin Clark,
Yeah, I mean, is she gonna do it again?
She?
I mean, she's a big part of the team.
I feel like last year I was very, like, against it. I was like, why are we giving so much time to Taylor? But I feel like my opinion has changed over the year. I feel like it is a good thing, like, to introduce new young people to the sport, and it's bringing in a lot of, like, young girls that really like Taylor, and they're sitting down and watching it with their dads. I think that's a cool aspect to it.
Sure.
And also, one of the things that football desperately needs, it's super popular right now. Arguably, the NFL is probably the most popular it's ever been. Between last year and this year, probably won't be as watched as the Super Bowl last year. Going forward, they need to keep that momentum. They need to bring in young people, and I guess this is one of the ways that they're doing it. That happened with baseball. Baseball was super popular in the 80s and 90s, and then it just kind of people stopped watching. They weren't doing anything new, anything interesting, and I guess Taylor Swift is part of that. How do you feel about Taylor Swift being a part of the team?
Yeah, I like what you said, because everything you said is so true. I mean, because at the end of the day, your fan bases just die out.
Yeah.
So, like, the old people just die. Sorry. So you need to, like, raise these young girls and boys into becoming just any fans of these teams and paying attention and knowing who these people are. So I was for a while in the category of, like, I really don't like this plot line, and I'm still not a huge fan about them, and that's only because the amount of hype it gets. Like, if she was dating Travis and they were just a couple compared to, like, Brittany and Patrick and, you know, all these other, Haley Steinfeld and Josh Allen, like, if they could just have a relationship and it be normal and they just play football and do whatever they want in their personal lives, I'd have no problem. But it's the constant cutting to her on camera and, like, they'll score instead of getting, like, the bench reaction. We're looking at her. Like, I don't need all that.
And I think maybe that's what is driving a lot of people to go for the Eagles in this case, because a lot of people are, like, kind of tired of the same storyline of Jason Taylor, like, oh, they're back again. So maybe that's kind of what's driving up this Eagles.
But at the end of the day, it's people watching. So,
that is true.
Like
Eyes on the screens.
Yeah.
What would have been the equivalent for Tom Brady, like, during the Patriots dynasty? Him dating who? What would have been the equivalent?
I mean, during the majority of the dynasty, he was with Giselle, right?
Yes, and that was pretty iconic.
That was iconic.
But, like, who, like, I don't know who he could have dated in that time.
That would have been the same.
Because, like, if you truly actually think about it, Giselle's more globally known than he is.
Yeah.
So to, like, the people in Brazil or, like, Colombia, all these other countries, they're like, yeah, she's the famous one dating a football player, you know?
I feel like that's
Take
kind
Giselle
of the
out of the
same
picture.
as
Which eventually happened.
Like,
it did.
he took her.
Yeah.
Who, if he could have dated a pop star from the like during the Patriots dynasty, who would it have been?
Who was
Like,
the biggest
I
name
mean,
back then?
Like Britney Spears?
Probably
type?
Britney. Yeah.
But like I feel like there's like Taylor's even more
Yeah.
global.
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
He kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was that was right around
That era.
Yeah.
Like
I think
Rihanna,
so.
back
Rihanna.
when He starts dating Tom Brady.
Please. That was
Maybe that's all it takes. I mean, these NFL players just have to start dating huge
Superstars.
celebrities.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you brought it up. Haley Steinfeld and Josh Allen is a prime example of like literally keeping that out of the public eye.
Yeah.
And I'm all in for it. Like, good on you, Josh. Like,
Yeah.
good on you. But like, yeah, that's the thing where it's like you can still be with like a superstar,
Yeah.
but like it's just constant in the
Yes.
media.
Yeah.
In the
Like
news.
Yeah.
Sierra and Russell Wilson.
Right,
Not to
exactly.
say Sierra's on the level of Taylor Swift, though I love Sierra.
Right.
But like, no one's panning the camera to Sierra when he scores. You know,
Yeah.
it's just now this is sort of becoming a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's interesting, that's for sure.
Definitely.
So
It's very.
they have a lot of
It's
a lot of star power on that team, but we do have to look at the other team.
There is another
as
team
well.
in
There
this
is
game.
another team aside from the Taylor Swift Jason storyline. We got to look at the Eagles. A little bit of the stats. Jalen Hurts during the regular season, 2,903 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. One of the things he was most known for, though, a part of that team, was his rushing, of course. 150 carries, 630 yards, 14 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley, we got to talk about him. 345 carries, 2,005 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 2 receiving touchdowns. Equally as good as a running team they were, their receiving was also on par. A.J. Brown, number 1 receiver on that team, 67 receptions, 1,079 yards, 7 touchdowns. Devontae Smith right behind that at 68 receptions, 833 yards, and 8 touchdowns. If you just look at that too, Jalen Hurts, 2,903. A.J. Brown almost has like half of all of those yards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty clear, number 1 target right there.
That's inner
So-
excellence right there.
Yeah.
Inner
I
excellence.
mean, he can read a book.
Yeah,
On the sideline.
yeah.
He's got time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that defense, looking at it too, pretty unreal. Zach Bond, 151 tackles. And then CJ Gardner-Johnson, 6 interceptions. They have a lethal defensive line, linebackers, safeties,
That's the thing,
kind of
they're-
everyone.
Their defense is really
Really good, yeah.
Yeah. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis on that front 4. They are game wreckers. Zach Bond, the linebacker, he was like a special. I read this. He was like a special teamer in New Orleans, and then the Eagles picked him up on like a 1-year deal, and now he's like the starting linebacker, number 1 in tackles. Like, he's just a baller. And I mean, in the secondary, you have Gardner Johnson, but also you can't talk about the Eagles without talking about their rookies in the secondary in Mitchell and Cooper DeJean.
Kyle loves.
I love
to
talking
bring up
about
Cooper
I love
DeJean.
talking about Cooper DeJean. Found out recently that his mom went to my college, so
Really?
shout out.
What a
Shout-
connection! What a
What a
connection!
connection.
Kyle.
They
What a
posted it on
connection.
Instagram the other day,
Loves talking
and I was
about
like,
that.
okay, what about our boy DeJean?
I went to the same college as
As
this
his
football
mom.
player's mom.
Yeah. But no, this
Which is crazy because the amount of like celebrities you've
No,
met, like
literally.
Marcus and all
Yep,
these like
mhm.
Tua and all these guys, and you're like,
Yeah.
no, Cooper DeJean's mom.
I didn't even meet her. Just
Yeah.
went to the same
They just
college
went
that
to
I
the
did.
same college.
These halls, these hallowed
Were
halls
walked-
of education
yeah.
were once walked by Cooper
Briar
DeJean's mom.
Cliff.
But hey, I'm not even about that. Like, just legitimately, that defense, him included, they are ballers. I mean, we were talking about this off camera before we started recording. We were kind of all rooting for the Washington Commanders with Jaden Daniels. Obviously, Marcus Mariota, the backup quarterback there. But I mean, the performance that the Eagles defense put on the Commanders in the NFC Championship game, like, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's a good defense.
Yeah. That's when I got a little worried, not gonna lie. Because, I mean, I thought the Commanders were so good all year, and then seeing what they've been doing in that playoff run towards the end with Jaden Daniels, like, he's just so good. He's gonna be so great.
Yep.
And so seeing that the Eagles could put that on them, I was like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
Did they
Yeah.
drop a 50 bomb on them?
Yeah.
Like
They
50
did.
points?
Yeah,
did.
it wasn't
Yeah.
even close.
Like, it got to the point where I think their backup running back, like undrafted dude Will Shipley from Clemson,
Yeah.
or
I mean, Saquon first play too.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
Saquon first play for
over.
scrimmage. I was watching the you know how NFL teams put out the mic'd up of the game, and they mic'd up Jordan Mailata, their left tackle, and like halfway through he was like super serious right at the beginning. Then halfway through he is just messing around. They're up by so much that
Yeah.
he's just goofing off, and then
Yeah.
like that's just the kind of game that it was for them. It was such a breeze,
Yeah.
which is it's scary. I mean, if you're a Chiefs fan,
Yeah,
kind of
it
seeing
is.
that performance.
It's crazy because people have asked me, they're like, are you more scared of this Eagles team or last year's 49ers team? And I'm like, I actually don't know. Because they do have a lot of similarities if
Yeah.
you think about it. Like Brandon Ayuk and Debo versus like Devonta and AJ
AJ.
Brown.
Yeah.
And then CMC and Saquon.
Right.
And then a loaded defense. Like, I honestly don't know
Mm.
who I'm more scared of.
The
That-
Eagles
that
are
is-
stacked.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but, like,
they're
if you think
stacked.
about it, so were the 49ers last year.
That is true.
They were.
I mean,
I don't know how the Chiefs do it, but for some reason in these high stakes games,
They show up.
Yeah.
show up. Patrick Mahomes turns into something else. like,
I know.
playoff
That's a-
Pat.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's the scare. I mean, who knows how Saquon's gonna do? He's been killing it all year, but Super Bowl, he hasn't been in this situation
True.
before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's obviously Chiefs have had many experiences in this moment, so it's gonna be interesting to see, for
I
sure.
know.
I think one thing that I was concerned of, this is also just me being a weird football brain, but like the one thing that I was concerned about the Eagles was when Jason Kelsey retired and then switching from him to Cam Jurgens, the new center.
Yeah.
That is such an important piece of that offense,
Yeah.
especially with the tush push that they're known for. But they've proven that like they haven't really skipped a beat on offense. Like Jalen Hurts
At
has
all.
finally found his groove
I know.
as a quarterback. I know a lot of the early conversation about his career was, you know, can he really do it? And
Yeah.
he's proven it, which is kind of weird that people are still doubting him. But I mean, yeah, that for me is like, as long as that front five is protecting Hurts and blocking for Saquon, that's a tough offense to stop.
Well, this Super Bowl special, we kind of came together and brought over a concoction of stories
Yeah.
all about the Super Bowl. And I think we have to get to the number one kind of topic. If you're not watching the game, you're probably watching it for the halftime show.
Mm-hmm.
And quite a big performer taking the stage.
Definitely someone who has had probably the biggest 2024 by far. Kendrick Lamar is headlining the Super Bowl halftime show over at the Superdome in New Orleans. He won 22 Grammy Awards throughout his career, including 5 this year for his song Not Like Us, which bagged the prestigious Song of the Year and Record of the Year back at this past Grammys. Lamar is the first solo rapper to headline the halftime show. If you remember, he performed two Super Bowls ago in Los Angeles, which was technically headlined by Dr. Dre. He was there with Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and I think 50 Cent was there as well. So this is his first time soloing. Also, he's also going to be featuring SZA. I saw that ad. SZA will be there. She was a part of a lot of his songs, and great collaborator. But I mean, I'm personally excited for this show. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this one.
It'll be different. Like,
Yeah.
last year was Usher, which I saw, and he's great, like, ultimate performer. And I'm just intrigued how this one's going to go. And, like, SZA,
Yeah.
great. But, like, are they just going to stand and dance?
That is true.
Yeah, I don't know. And I mean this was the first time that it's going to be like a big rapper, right?
Yeah. I mean,
so we don't really know how it's gonna go. It's kind of hard to compare it to.
Yeah.
Wasn't Kendrick Lamar in the Super Bowl that was in L.A.? It was
Yeah.
like a group of rappers.
Yeah. But this is the first solo act.
Yeah.
So.
And like my problem with whenever the Super Bowls are on the West Coast and it's still light outside, the halftime shows
I
just
agree.
don't
I
hit
agree.
as hard.
That's true.
And this one, it's gonna be dark.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Indoors,
there
yeah.
in the dome. Like I feel like they have a really cool opportunity to make it a cool show with all the lights, all of the special effects. But when it's outside, like I remember watching the one that was at SoFi Stadium. It was just kind of boring. It
Yeah.
just had like a couple of houses out there, like little buildings that they were dancing on. I was like, okay, it's not as interesting as like Katy Perry riding a giant
Yes.
lion.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, I think you're right too about
That's
the
true.
lighting. Like
Yeah.
that throws it off. Like if it's dark, it feels like you're in a show. It's
Yeah.
a concert instead of when they're out there dancing and
Yeah.
it's bright outside.
Right. And it's like, it's tough. I can understand why rappers haven't necessarily been the first choice, because it's like, you kind of want these big numbers and these big set pieces. Rap is very much contained.
Yeah.
And like, you just stand on the stage and you rap, you do your thing. But like, like you said, Katy Perry,
Yeah.
Rihanna, Usher,
Yep.
you were there last year.
Put on a show.
Put on a show. The performances, the background dancers. I think back to J-Lo and Shakira,
Yeah.
right? All these big performances. It's just, that's kind of what makes the spectacle. So I can understand where people are like, I don't know. Thinking back to daytime Super Bowls, you guys remember Super Bowl 50 at Levi Stadium? It was Coldplay with Bruno Mars
Beyonce.
and
Oh,
Beyonce.
yeah.
And like, I totally agree. It was weird that they had all these lighting effects in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the Coldplay thing, I was out.
Like, it should have really just been Bruno and
It
Beyonce.
should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to Coldplay, they were the headline, but they.
I mean, the fact that the people that you bring in like to support your hit are better than
They were
you.
so
is
much
Yeah,
better.
Absolutely. Like, they definitely stole the show. Sorry, I almost sneezed. I'm good. We're good, folks. We're good. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see. I mean, as far as other Kendrick songs that I'm trying to think that he would add, besides the stuff that he put out last year, obviously he's gonna play Not Like Us, and the whole stadium's gonna erupt.
I would hate to be Drake.
I-
man.
literally-
I know, someone
Yeah,
check
yeah.
on Drake.
He is gonna need like all the care in the world on Sunday.
What do you think? What songs do you think he's gonna play?
Guys, I
mean,
I couldn't tell you. Like,
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, yeah.
It's been a minute.
If you were to play a Kendrick song, it would take me a minute
the
to
thing
realize
is,
it's him.
I know
Yeah.
a lot of his stuff that he's featured on.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
I'll see a lot of like girl songs or whatever,
Mhm,
like female stuff, and then he will come out. I'm like, oh, this is a great song.
Yep.
But like him by himself, I don't know it.
Okay.
Same.
Fair
Do
enough.
you?
Yeah.
Like,
I listen to a little bit of Kendrick. I think. Whoa.
Davis.
I mean, I like his music. He puts out good
like,
stuff.
what is he?
I feel like you'll get like a lot of stuff from his early albums, like Good Kid, Mad City, and To
right.
Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah.
Like Money Trees. You guys have heard that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Backseat Freestyle, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Good Kid, Mad City. I think Humble will get played.
oh, you're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
a good group.
Yeah, maybe all the stars from
That's with SZA, right?
SZA,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
she's there.
Mhm.
It's from the Black Panther album, which
Yep.
was a huge
That would
success in
be a good one,
2018.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then Not Like Us, of course.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna play anything from Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, which he released in 2022. I don't think that made as big a. What?
This
True
song
Davis.
knowledge
This is
is-
like
I-
this is crazy.
You're in your bag right now.
I'm in my bag.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna play any music from that. I don't think there was any big hits that really made as big of waves as his other music.
What's the one that he just put out where it's like with DJ Mustard and he's just yelling mustard? You know what I'm talking. Y'all know what I'm talking.
It's G and X is the album.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the song. I didn't listen to it that much.
I mean, I would have
So you
never
could play
pegged
Squabble
Just
it.
the
Up,
fact that
which
you
is
know
from
the
the-
album
Yeah,
is like
that's-
impressive.
that's
crazy.
impressive.
That's awesome.
Wow, Drew
I'm just
Davis.
thinking about like my parents,
That is true.
and I don't think they'll know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it got to the point that my brother told my dad that Anna Kendrick was doing the Super Bowl. So- when he was like, "Oh, who's Kendrick Lamar?" He's like, "Oh, the girl from Pitch Perfect."
He's playing the cup song.
Oh my God.
The Barden Bellas
So
come out.
it's gonna be
my
a
God.
rude awakening when Kendrick Lamar comes out.
If, Adam Devine, or how do you say his last
Oh,
name?
Divine.
Yeah.
Comes out as
Yeah.
Bumper.
Yeah.
I would love a Pitch Perfect
Pitch
Super
Perfect,
Bowl. I
yeah.
Oh my
think.
God.
And Haley
Imagine.
Steinfeld.
Yeah,
Oh
there
my
it is.
gosh, it's
There it is.
perfect.
I mean, yeah, if Buffalo made it, that would have been
That would-
That would've
yeah.
been good.
chef's kiss.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would've-
Right there. But man, I did not realize. Yeah,
Yeah, good for you.
you have that much.
I
knowledge.
just I don't I like his music. I wouldn't say that I'm like a super fan.
Well, another big part to the Super Bowl is, of course, the Super Bowl party, guys. We'll get to it in a second on what we're all doing, but quick little report that I saw, according to Wells Fargo. If you're feeding, it's a little expensive this year. If you're feeding 10 people a spread of chicken wings, guacamole, chips, and beer, it's going to cost you $139.
Jeez.
That is
Golly.
more than last year's price, and that is mainly due because the cost of beer and some food items have gone up, but the cost of others have gone down, which somewhat balances it out
So good.
to last year.
does
So
look really good.
that kind of leads into the next question: are you guys doing Super Bowl parties?
Well,
Actually, wait. What? You guys are here.
You guys gotta work.
Yeah,
guys gotta
we will
work.
be in the office.
Yeah.
You guys
I'm sure
have to
we'll
work.
Do something like a little potluck
Mhm.
type of thing, but no, nothing fancy, which
Yeah.
is crazy
Yeah.
because I do want one of these days to like actually be off
Mhm.
and be able to go to a Super Bowl party, or
Yeah.
not that I would host one, but like have people over and like
Yeah.
cook and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's my favorite type of food. It's just
so
like
Yeah.
good.
just American food.
Yeah.
Pizza,
I-
wings,
Mhm.
fries, burgers.
Totally.
Yep.
Davis, are you doing anything?
You know, we have friends flying over from California,
Oh.
and they have requested Rainbow Drive-In
Oh.
and Zippies.
Okay.
Nice.
And
So-
Zippies? Oh,
and
that's my
Zippies.
dream.
Nice.
So
Double
it's
whammy.
gonna, a little double whammy
I love
going
that.
on.
What
So
are
I
you
mean,
gonna order? Like, what's your?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
range
Well,
of
I'm gonna
Zippies?
leave it up to them.
Yeah.
Individual plates.
Individual plates. I'm thinking.
Yeah,
we'll
that
see if
boneless
Zippies
chicken.
has any
Oh,
platters
so
going on.
good.
Yeah, I mean, for sure for me from Zippy's, that Korean fried chicken.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep. Drew?
I'm making burgers. I'm making
Nice.
just burgers and fries,
Solid.
and probably just get a pack of beer.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're not doing anything at our place. We're like my fiance and I were just gonna stay at the our house, and usually she doesn't really watch the game. She'll come in for the commercials.
Mhm.
And my other friend who lives in Texas, he was my roommate in college. We're going to like FaceTime and watch the game together.
I
And that's
love
what we did for the
that.
playoff games too.
Aw.
Aw.
And then eat our food that we made.
That's
so
sweet.
Nice.
It's
I
a
like
good
that.
way to keep
Nice.
in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll be in here working. I'm sure we'll put it up on the big TV.
Yeah, we'll be watching,
Yeah.
seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
But
Making sure that I put on a tie for the show, like halfway through the game. Have to realize that.
I think
oh,
you should
wait,
bring a green and red one.
I think I'll be right in the middle and wear blue.
yeah,
That's
we're
safe,
right
that's
in
safe,
the-
that's
I gotta
safe.
wear that H&N blue. But yeah, I remember growing up, Super Bowl parties were the
best.
Yeah.
My parents' friends, we all grew up. Well, my brother more so grew up playing baseball, so it's all the baseball families.
Yep.
We would literally go to just a park and then set up a television in like the those little gazebos,
Mhm.
and we would just have that over there, and the kids would run around, play football in the park,
Yeah.
watch the game, eat all the food that we ever wanted. So it was super fun. I think the next question for this segment is, since we're talking about like Super Bowl parties and food, what is that go-to thing that has to be on your plate for a Super Bowl party?
For me, it's pizza.
Mm.
And that's just because, like,
Solid.
as a kid, it was just so easy to, like, our family would go to other people's houses and just, like, get a couple pizzas. We're
Mhm.
good to go. So, like, I can't think about watching, like, any football game with
True.
a pizza.
That's classic.
Mhm.
It's good.
Davis?
Chips, guac, and queso.
Nice.
I
So
can
you're
see
an apps
that.
guy.
Apps.
I can see
Apps
that.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guacamole, big thing over where I live in California. So grew up on it.
You live
gotta-
here though.
I do live here, Drew. That's right. It's my second home over there.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Drew?
Probably we did queso last year, chips and queso, but
Nice.
I'm gonna make burgers this year, so
Sounds good.
just switch it up.
Yeah.
I love a mean 7-layer dip. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't eat them at like other parties. Like people will make them whenever.
Yeah.
But like during the Super Bowl, 7-layer dip, chips.
I mean, you're pretty good at artichoke dips, too.
Sure. If you guys remember last year, our social team, we had a competition, so to speak. on
Yes.
what we make for the Super
Chef
Bowl.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle.
And my video, granted, it was in a full-on house with a full kitchen, gave off the vibe of a college kid that had a mini
Yeah.
fridge and a hot plate. I tried to make
I forgot about this.
spinach dip, and
I remember that.
man, oh man, was that rough.
Oh, spinach, not artichoke. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, spinach, artichoke. I mean,
Yeah.
it didn't do anything. Like, it kind of, I wasted like all that money making it because it was not edible.
All that money, like a block of cream
Yeah, a
cheese
block
and
of
some
cream cheese.
spinach.
Cream cheese.
Frozen spinach, some sour cream. Yeah, it was pretty rough. And I really thought I was gonna win, and then Mark Carpenter went and made like an entire
what's up
tomahawk
with that?
steak. Like, what are we doing?
He literally fried a
Yeah.
whole
Yeah,
steak.
a whole steak.
They went
I
all
just
out on
remember
that.
Jen putting a helmet on.
Yes.
I don't remember what was going on there. I didn't even remember what her dish was.
Yeah, I don't
Did
even
you have
remember.
one?
No, I didn't do one. I remember they're like, you got to do this, and I just forgot to do it.
I mean, to be fair, I was in that category too, but they're like,
Yeah.
we need more entries, and
Right.
you're
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
sports
Not
reporter.
to like
you're
harp on our
Yeah.
digital team,
You
but that was
kinda
kind
have
of a
to.
mess.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it just it like it was
It
just
was. Yeah.
a mess.
I mean, yeah, my kitchen was a big mess. Like, a big mess. And
I remember I voted for you. In the
Thank
comments,
you.
they were like,
Thank
vote in
you.
the comments
Yeah.
who wanted to
You did
win.
do
I was
that.
like, Chef Kyle.
It was
Yeah.
a big
Yep.
kitchen.
I
Yeah,
voted
you
as
were
well.
the
Chef.
chef. They should have you on Kitchen Scraps.
I was about to say, me and Drew duking
Oh,
it out
kitchen
on
scraps.
Oh man.
I would love. I mean, at least Drew can make burgers.
That is
I don't
true.
know.
Terrible.
He's got burgers.
What?
Got that spinach.
All,
dip.
all of
Yeah.
all of my cooking stories are nightmares that have
Yeah.
been shared on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Can't figure out how to use an electric oven, guys. I'm so sorry.
This is true.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they want me cutting my finger off on television. That would be rough. But yeah, that will haunt me forever, cuz it was like almost 11 o'clock at night, propping my phone up on my coffee maker being like, "What's up, guys?
Oh my gosh.
It's Kyle Chinen,
It's
sports
Kyle
reporter at
Chinen.
Hawaii News Now.
I'm going to show you my secret family recipe."
My
AKA
secret
Google.
family recipe. Your mom's like, I've never made that in my life.
The
Like, how
people's-
dare you?
The people's chef, Kyle
Yes.
Chinen.
And we're going to continue talking about the Super Bowl. We talked about the halftime. We talked about the food that we're eating at the Super Bowl watch parties. And I think another big aspect of the big game are the commercials. A lot of people don't even watch the game. They watch for the commercials and the halftime show commercials. And they've been, the thing is, the trend now is with the internet and all that,
Yep.
brands are putting out their Super Bowl ads weeks in advance,
know.
being like, this is our Super Bowl ad.
I
Yeah.
feel like there's ads for the Super Bowl.
True.
ad,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, hey, make sure you watch the big game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Like a couple years ago, whenever they brought Bryan Cranston back and Aaron Paul to do a Walter and Jesse from Breaking Bad again for like the Popcorners commercial. I remember them advertising that they were going to be
Gonna
in
be
the
on
Super
it.
Bowl.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, I
It's
feel like
so
that
crazy.
that takes away a lot of
I
the,
know.
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I am.
Sorry, but
No,
like,
no.
yeah, back when we were kids, it was just so, like, that was the reason that we go to these parties. So,
Yeah.
like, you and all your little friends can go run when it's half
Yep.
or like when it's commercial break, because we're not even really watching the game.
Yep.
And laugh at which ones you like the best. And the Doritos were always great, or Pepsi. And now I already, like, mine that I'm gonna show you guys, I already saw air already.
Right.
Like, I've
Yeah.
seen
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy.
I just remember waiting for that timeout, go to commercial
Yep.
break,
Yep. And you're running
see what's gonna
to the
pop
living
up.
room.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think I saw somewhere too that it costs like for the Super Bowl it costs like $8 million
For like a
dollars
30-second
for a 30-second ad.
Crazy.
Crazy. We all picked out some commercials that either already made air or will air come Super Bowl Sunday. I guess I'm up first. This is, I won't say much, but this is a ad for Instacart,
Instacart.
which is a
Alright.
service I've never used before.
Me neither.
Neither have I.
But I think it's like, it's almost like a DoorDash,
Yeah.
right? Where it's like, but
Well,
it's like for
full groceries.
yeah, full groceries from the
Yep.
store. So let's check this one out and we'll get some reaction here.
Release the hounds.
Puppy monkey baby.
Oh, yeah. I'm on a porch.
Groceries are here.
Thanks, babe. You get the milk?
So that was the
That was
ad
pretty. That was pretty good.
I picked. I think it's just
All the brands in
yeah,
one. I like it.
the nostalgia of it, because I definitely remember Pillsbury
green
Doughboy.
guy?
Yeah.
Jolly Green Giant. He was
Mr.
that
Clean.
the corn and green
Gatorade.
bean
Oh, the
can.
green beans.
Yeah,
Yes.
Energizer. The
I
Kool-Aid
like this.
Man. Yeah,
Surprised they could get like
right.
the copyright or
Yeah,
something. Whatever
yeah.
you call it.
Especially like I think these are all different like like companies and brands.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. We don't have sound on these right now for us at least, but at the end the husband was like, "Did you remember to bring the milk?" And that's why you see that cow
Oh,
driving.
running.
But yeah, Mr. Clean, Kool-Aid Man. It's just such a nostalgia factor when it comes to
Yeah, I like that one.
commercials.
Instacart. Maybe
yeah.
I'll start thinking about using it. I don't know.
I know. I'm definitely. I mean, I do have a problem with my Uber Eats because I be coming home after like a game or after coverage of something, and I'm just like, nearest Taco Bell near me, hit me up.
Yeah.
It's a problem, but I'll admit it. Acceptance is the first step to recovery.
You mentioned beverages, and I think that's going to lead me to my
Yes.
commercial that I
I
selected.
love-
This is I just thought it was really funny. It is for Coors Light.
My favorite brand.
Sienna
Take-
got me
Anybody
on,
who knows, yeah.
Take a listen.
Happy Monday. What a game last night.
Monday, Monday, so good to me. Monday morning, it was all I hoped it would be. Oh, Monday morning, you gave me no warning of what was to be. Monday, can't trust that day. Monday, sometimes it just turns out that way.
Tomorrow, we'll all have a case of the Mondays. So Coors Light made a better case to help you chill. Get a case of the Mondays.
All right, so
Love it.
there you
Monday
have it.
Light.
It's
I love.
what a great song as well. I think we have all been there having the Mondays. A lot of that is
Got a case
is
of the Monday.
Yep.
Yeah.
case
I
of the
love this
Mondays.
one.
Just to I don't know. It was just so well done. I mean, just having the sloth, all the
Yeah.
sloths there, and that's kind of how you feel when you hit a Monday. So overall, very well done.
I was about to say this. A lot of these frames are about like me at this station.
Yeah.
The guy on the computer,
Yeah.
definitely me.
Yeah, guy on the computer pressing
Guy
E.
instead.
yeah. A lot of these are so relatable. But yeah, just to have this
Monday's Light. I love it.
Monday's light.
Monday's Light.
This me not being able to catch anything, totally
Mm-hmm.
relatable.
Yeah, totally relatable. Overall, great commercial. I
That's
might
a
have
good
to get a
one.
case now.
I mean,
Yeah.
So are they actually selling Mondays Light? Is that like
I
they're changing
hope
the
I
so.
hope
I
that'd be a
hope,
cool
yeah.
like
Yeah.
collector's item.
Yeah.
cool collector's item.
Yeah.
A case of beer that you
I
won't
mean,
drink.
Yeah, literally.
Look, I got a Coors Light that says Monday on it.
You
It says
save,
Monday.
you save the 24th out of the 24 packs. So you just
Oh,
drink
yeah.
the 23, and then
Oh, okay.
you have the 24th
You got the
to
Mondays.
save. Yeah. But yeah, I will say, Cienna put me on to Coors Light. I was never really into
My
that.
favorite.
But then once...
Are you being for real? Is it actually?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
actually
no,
is.
like,
Like,
legit it
I thought
is.
you were
they
joking.
know every time we
Yeah.
go out, that's what I order.
Coors.
I used
I
to
like
be a
Coors.
big like Heineken girl, but it's too much. So
Well, yeah.
Coors is my go-to. Me and Casey Lund, that's our favorite.
Casey
beer
Lund
of
too is a
choice.
Coors enthusiast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely growing up here, it's always like Heineken Light.
Yeah.
You go to college and they're like, "Oh, you're from Hawaii, so you have to keep up the appearance." Even though I don't like beer, but you know, it is what it is. Peer pressure. See it. I believe you're up.
Oh, okay, mine.
Yep.
Yes, mine is Taco Bell, which is like my favorite place ever. It's kind of hard because we can't hear it, so I don't know if you guys know this one, but we'll just play it and see.
Yeah.
This year, Taco Bell is making fans the stars of their big game ad, not celebrities.
Did someone photobomb us? Is that Doja Cat?
For the last time, no famous people.
I want to be in this ad.
Miss Cat,
Come on.
we've been through this. You gotta go.
No. Yes. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
I'm not gonna say it again.
Fine.
So if you took a photo at one of our drive-through cams, you could be in our big game ad. Participants may be slightly famous, but not Doja Cat famous.
So that's Doja Cat, if you
Yeah.
didn't know. So basically, they want to just feature like regular people, everyday people, in these like in their pictures, I guess. And she just keeps popping up. She's like, I want to be in it.
Kind of want Taco Bell now.
I know.
This whole episode has made me so hungry.
I
Dude, the
know.
advertising's working.
Yeah,
it is working.
It is.
It literally is working.
They got you.
Oh, Taco Bell.
There's a Taco Bell right down the
I
street
know,
from the
that's
station.
the
yeah,
problem.
Yeah.
that is our issue. But I think, you know what? Now that you mention it, I have seen this
Yeah.
ad before, and it is funny.
Well, aren't
Yeah.
they advertising, like, if you take pictures, you could be featured in the big game ad, like, in the actual
I
Super
think
Bowl?
so, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're going to Photoshop
we want
Doja
everyday
Cat.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love her.
She's
That's
so
pretty
funny.
good.
I love her.
Yeah, Doja, celebs, can't beat it. But Drew,
Oh, I picked. I had to go classic. I had to go
Oh.
classic. Well, everybody would gather around watching the
Yes.
Doritos
Yep.
commercial.
Yep.
My
Classic.
favorite one is the one with the kid in the time machine.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Step in. It only costs a bag of Doritos.
Yeah.
And then he steps out. The kid runs away. The old man comes out. He's like, Jimmy, you're so old. That's my favorite. And I remember always looking forward to the Doritos
Yeah.
commercials.
Yep.
Here's this year's. Pretty solid.
Come on, man!
Dorito.
Dorito.
Yeah.
I just felt like this
So
was a
great.
return to form
Yeah.
for Doritos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A return to form. They've fallen off over the past couple
Yeah.
of years, but look at the artistry. Look at the lighting.
I know.
The cinematography on this
He's
commercial.
so iconic.
The
So
the
iconic.
slapstick humor just adds a lot to this.
No, this is great. I know for our generation age people, like you were raised on these commercials.
Yeah.
They were so creative.
Yeah.
Every Super Bowl, and like this one is like you
Now
said.
I want Doritos.
Return to
Yep.
form. A Doritos Locos Taco maybe.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Best of both
It's
worlds.
It's a
working.
sign.
is.
Now you guys know like where we're going
Must
right
consume
after this.
I
Taco
know.
Bell.
We want
Yeah.
some Mondays light with some Taco
Monday's
Bell.
Light,
Sounds like a good weekend for us.
You
I'll
can
tell you much.
have
How
it
much?
delivered using
Instacart.
Instacart.
Yeah.
That literally all combining into one.
Good.
Look at that commercial. We're consumers.
Yeah,
We are
That's all we are.
Consumers.
Definitely just consumers.
And going through it, there's so many more amazing commercials.
Yeah.
This is just some of our favorites. I'm looking forward to seeing all of them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Should be good.
it's gonna be fun. I'm sad that once Sunday hits, like football season's kind of over.
I know.
Like that was
Yep.
so crazy.
It's
what
so
a season
fast.
It's been. It
It
goes
did
by
go by
so
super
fast.
quick.
And then wait a couple months and we'll be back here again.
Yep,
Yep.
100%.
Well, EA College Football 26
This is
comes
true.
out
Yeah.
This
in
is true.
July.
Yep.
Start your new dynasty
I'm
with the
ready.
Rainbow Warriors.
Mine was with Texas A&M.
Obviously.
Texas
Giga
A&M.
Mags.
Obviously.
Giga Maggies.
Um,
I feel like I'm cursed with all of the sports, like the teams that I picked. Texas A&M, the Cowboys, the Mavs with Luca.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
You did have the Rangers.
Jeez.
The
Yeah,
Rangers,
yeah,
that
you're
was
a
like
Rangers fan.
that's
But
the
yeah.
first national
Yeah.
like championship game I've ever experienced
Yeah.
across all my teams.
No, that's great. I mean,
So-
yeah, the Mavs really, that one hurts for you.
That
I
was a
bet.
rough
like,
one.
That was truly crazy. We haven't even
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
talk
Yeah.
about NBA, but crazy trade.
Yeah.
We'll save that for
Save
the
that
next
for later,
episode
yeah.
and my thoughts about Jimmy Butler.
oh, yeah.
Coming
Lots
over.
of trades going on
Lots
in
of
the NBA.
trades.
Lots of trades going on.
It's
It's
been a
kind of
big
crazy.
week for Shams Charania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been booked and busy since
Mhm.
Woj kind
Yep.
of.
Yep, he took over for Woj,
Yeah.
yeah. And I hope you've enjoyed this super edition of HNN Overtime leading up to the Super Bowl. That was fun. I mean, we got to talk about the game, about everything that goes into it. Be sure to check this one out either after or before you watch the game on Sunday. You can check out this episode or the other episodes on our website, hnn.com. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, that's where the audio versions are. And then on YouTube, the Hawaii News Now YouTube channel is the video version. We'll put up the QR code right here. Nothing fancy this week.
Oh,
Plain and
it's-
simple.
Yeah, it's very simple.
Very simple.
There it is.
He's just
Wait.
it's just a chill guy.
It's right there.
He's hanging out.
Just a chill QR code right there. to
Wait,
check
Kyle, did
out.
you mention our Instagram?
That's right. We have an Instagram, HNN Overtime.
No spaces.
You won't find us if you put a space or hit that space bar.
Yep.
It's HNN Overtime for Cienna Pilotin, Davis Pitner, and Drew Davis. I'm Kyle Chinen. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Aloha.
This podcast is sponsored by Happy Warrior Kava. Be a happy warrior. Drink, relax, and enjoy the strong and smooth taste of the best-selling kava in the islands. Happy Warrior Kava.